So, you're tired of the back-breaking 9 to 5. Well, I have something to tell you. You can break into tech, and you don't have to learn every single thing a data scientist or a software engineer needs to learn. Here is exactly how you can break into tech, explained in 3 easy steps. We're going to throw away our little ties today because my name is Andrew, this is Professor Meatball, and I spent all day this morning picking up little emojis for free on Craigslist. Look at this one. Wow. The thing about being able to juggle a YouTube channel and a full-time job as well as being able to do random shenanigans like this is one of the luxuries of working in tech. Are you afraid? Are you afraid that you are not qualified, you don't know how to reverse a linked list, or you don't know how to check the significance of a certain parameter in a t-test? Well, hey, that is okay. You are enough. And the reason why I want you to avoid a fate worse than death, having a job that you really don't care about and you can't wait to retire, is the idea that you can break into a job that lets you play volleyball, that lets you relax, and lets you have a work-life balance. Check out this person on Reddit. My father just retired. What he said to me scared the out of me. I had a conversation with my father this past weekend. He wanted to let me know that he is officially retiring. He said, yeah, I will find part-time work to keep me busy. I can finally do something I like doing. 50 years of hard work, crawling his way to the top of a corporate ladder to director level position, making well over 6 figures, and just wanting to retire. That is the American dream. Welcome to corporate America. You are living a dream of someone else's productive fortune, making well over 6 figures, but how many 100,000 bills does it take to get to $1 billion? Well, Humphrey Yang made a very enticing video where he counted 10,000 grain of rice and it took him a couple hours to do so. Just a 6-figure salary isn't going to be enough, especially if you hate it. So this is why I'm going to tell you exactly how to break into tech. If you follow this video all the way to the very end, I'll not only tell you my 3 favorite tips, I'm going to tell you exactly how I would break into tech if I had none of the skills that I have now. The first step of breaking into tech is to identify that you are already likely qualified. Yes, probably not for a software engineering role or a data science role quite yet if you have no technical skills, but you could be qualified for certain jobs in tech that require no technical skills. Take the HR team or the business development team or even a non-technical business analyst team. Working in Excel and PowerPoint is oftentimes what an analyst does anyway, so if you are already doing it for big corporate America for a job you hate, why not be able to do it in a job that has better work-life balance? Now, how do you identify that you are already working in tech? Well, the easiest way to find out if this is a tech company is to ask 3 important questions during the interview section. Number 1, is this company scrutinizing everything you do on a day-by-day basis? Essentially, is being productive, or at least seeming productive, half of the battle? Do you need to be able to show that you are constantly typing away, working the hours away that you could be spending going on Craigslist and getting something cool for free, might I add? Look at this cute nerd emoji. Or are you working to produce an actual effect? Try to move the needle. Are you actually valued at your workplace? That's number 1. How is your time valued? Is it valued based on being productive and busy at all times? Or is it valued based on something more tangible? Something that has to do with end goals, either on a sprint cycle or a quarter-by-quarter cycle. Second question is, how likely are they to replace you if you suddenly stopped being productive? Say you needed to go on maternity or paternity leave, or you wanted to go on a well-deserved vacation for 2 to 3 weeks. If that ever happened, do you think your company still values you or would value you in that situation? That might be hard to tell, but oftentimes you have a gut feeling about the corporate life that you lead. That's a specific question that tech often asks. Is the employee feeling like they exist in an ecosystem where if they were out of commission for a few weeks of a random occurrence, they would still be valued and they would still have a spot open for them in the next few weeks? This is the key to making you feel not like a cog in corporate America's machine. It essentially is the difference between being in a team, something that is akin, closer to a family, than a nameless tool that the company employs. Final question of whether or not this company is actually a tech company is, how does the company grow? How does the company take care of its goals when it comes to increasing its employee throughput, increasing employee satisfaction, increasing your side of the equation? How likely is it that when a company has a boon of new investors or a great quarter in selling its product, that they'll throw you a well-deserved party or a well-deserved bonus? If you can't answer those questions positively either in the interview section of the process of finding a new job, or if you can't answer those questions for your current company, it's likely that you aren't in the tech industry. A lot of people contend that tech is an industry like the aviation industry or the automobile industry, not just something that can exist on a phone. It is actually a way of life, in my opinion. So a long-winded way of saying that you have now asked yourself the 3 questions, you've confirmed that a company is a tech company, you want to move yourself into that space, and now here is the very first question. If I take a non-technical job in this tech company, something akin to a salesperson or an HR person or a finance person, will I have the opportunity to learn, network, and be mentored by my peers in an adjacent team or a diagonally adjacent team? Will I be able to spend 30 minutes a day to an hour practicing technical skills now that I'm in the right circle of engineers, data scientists, and other technical minds? Let's face it, you're not going to learn the right things if you're constantly sitting in meetings with peers that don't have any technical skills. They're not going to be able to influence you or inspire you to learn by yourself, especially if at the end of the day, you don't have enough time when you come home, sit on the couch with your dog, sit on the couch with your stuffed animals, and you still don't have enough time or the energy to learn. If you are lucky enough to be in a corporate job that is non-technical, but you still have the opportunity to put in a couple of extra 30 minutes to an hour every day, then I recommend checking out a guide like my 66 Days or 21 Days to Data Science, a $0 data science Bible. This is something that's going to help you track how to become a data scientist. There are leagues of information for data science, software engineering, and other technical experiences that you should start practicing on a daily basis. Just take yourself 15 to 30 minutes a day, and I promise you, it's going to be hard. You're going to have life get in the way, but it's going to add up. The second step is you're going to have to expand your network. Now, a lot of the mentees that I work with as a data science mentor, they actually end up not having even 500 connections on LinkedIn. Now, you might not have heard that magic number, but 500 is what LinkedIn caps the maximum displayed connections on your profile, which is why you want to get to that golden standard. Best ways to start reaching out is to use LinkedIn's alumni network, which is filtering by people who have went to your school. You can also reach out on Facebook to old classmates or people you used to hang out with and say, hey, I'm actually trying to increase my network. It's going to be a little awkward, but do you mind if we do a connection? Increasing this network goes hand in hand with building strong connections with technical workers. Researching how to make a better network goes hand in hand with making strong connections that will eventually turn into referrals. I can't tell you how often a random person's referral can get you at the top of the resume line, which could end up being a couple hundred resumes in front of you. Expediting that process means that you need to be able to have a network. So if you can send me an email, I put my email down below for one-on-one coaching, but if you wanted to just connect on LinkedIn, I'd be happy to send my LinkedIn profile over to you and accept your connection as well. Building a connection like that with me, a random stranger on YouTube, could end up being incredibly fruitful, especially since I would be happy to start becoming a referral if the connection made a lot of sense. And I'm just one out of hundreds of different people in a later stage in their career, maybe like 5 to 10 years down the line, that just has a lot of free time. We have the time to start growing, learning, and connecting, and we would love to give back. But at the end of the day, a referral can only bring you to the front of the line, which means if you were not tall enough to ride, as in your technical skills were in the right shape or you're not the right fit for any reason, you still just put all your eggs in a basket that had a hole in it anyway. So that's why the third and final tip for this video is make sure you're applying to the right places as early and as often as you can. LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Monster, AngelList, Indeed, they are all really great platforms in order to find as many job openings as possible. You should aim for applying to a couple dozen jobs a day, especially if you are in hardcore recruiting mode. This not only increases your chances of finding a ride that you are tall enough to ride, but it also allows you to start lining up several different offers at the same time so you can leverage one against another. Don't forget that sometimes recruiters are only human. They can only take in so much information, and if you get to the front of the line early and often, as in when they put out a posting on the LinkedIn, social networks, any other job posting website, and you're the first one in line, it ends up you might not even have needed that referral. They're just going to go up whoever comes first. That said, do not neglect points 1 and 2. You have to make sure that you have the right technical skills. At the end of the day, making sure that you can fit into a slot that is somehow analogous to a role you want to get into. If you want to be a data scientist, a data analyst role could be helpful if you have to get out of your corporate job. It's a lot better to have a corporate job than to be unemployed. It's a lot better to have an analyst job than a corporate job. And finally, it's a lot better to have a technical job like a data science or a software engineer job than an analyst job. However, if you go to step at a time, you are setting yourself up for success. Speaking of success, I really appreciate that you made it all the way through to this video. I want to thank you by saying I want to give you guys a free consultation on data science. Go ahead and write a comment down below or screenshot this video and put it on your Instagram story. Tag me, Andrew Mo Money, so I can see it. And finally, thank you guys. As always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.